Celebrating 15 years of podcasting, here's a memorable moment from the Adam Carolla Show's Ace Awards archives.
Hey, Bobby Hollander.
Yeah.
We're going to set up Sex Ranch.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot.
Chris
Blow
Canyon.
your asshole off and
No.
make it
Yeah.
go all the way up to your vagina. Make it one big vast hole.
Yeah, see, now, here's the thing, Bobby. Chrissy Canyon's in this one.
Yeah. She's in Swank, Hustler.
Mm-hmm.
You take a poop on your chest, and then you send her.
No.
She'll send you a picture of a poop and get your address.
Now for some new memorable moments, let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Put my mic on. There we go. Remind me one day to tell you who Bobby Hollander is. I think you're gonna really. I opened Kyle's world to Bobby Hollander. And
I had no idea.
Once you see Bobby Hollander, you really can't unsee Bobby Hollander.
Nope.
You know?
No.
All right. Secret to My Success trailer. Yeah.
Okay.
You got Fox.
Let me just
and you
say
got
this.
Manhattan.
And this is 1987. I think it's got to be between 84 and 87. 89, 88, 82. Those were two. This is right up there. This is peak 80.
All right. We'll watch. Listen.
Pretty 80s.
Yeah, that deserves honorable mention in the 80s department. So what we'll do is you podiumed. You got a bronze.
Yeah.
You're up on the podium.
I don't think you get to decide.
I am the
wins.
sanctioning body.
Quicksilver.
We got standards over here.
Quicksilver is just a little more 80s. Just a little more. Okay. I'll
You
bet.
know how the Hall of Fame didn't have Pete Rose in it? Like
I get it. Okay. Just the fact that Kevin Bacon wore a long sleeve peasant shirt with a vest.
Yeah.
Just the vest. We'll do a vest count. A casual vest count, not three-piece suit. A casual vest over a long sleeve shirt count, and I guarantee we'll have a higher count on Quicksilver, and then that makes it more 80s.
I'm not saying Quicksilver is an 80s. I'm just saying it's number one was not that popular of a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
These guys,
Not in the Dunnigan home, evidently. But at the Carolla house, I mean, we've had a shrine to Bacon in his 10 speed.
The only way to solve this is see who sold more Betamax.
That's a good point. Oh yeah. We'd give the nod. But go back and watch Less Than Zero because that is very 80s too.
Oh yeah.
A lot of cocaine flying around.
Yeah.
And what's her name? This whatever that actress. Can't remember all these.
Gertz?
Bengals.
Jamie Gertz, yeah. Who, by the way, Bengals playing, yeah. Okay, you know my theorem. When that movie came out, when Jamie Gertz was at the height of her powers in like 86 and a half, 87, a 23-year-old truck driving, apartment living, roommate, futon sharing, $11 an hour, Adam Carolla did not have a shot, a snowball's chance at hell at a Jamie Gertz. I think a millionaire, 6-year-old Adam Carolla has a real shot at a 57-and-a-half-year-old Jamie Gertz
I want to see
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
Probably put a little weight on, maybe divorce, you know what I mean? Hysterectomy, you know, whatever. Just on the other side, I think in this equation, and I work this out all the time. I mean, I got to cast a falcon crest I could get. The crest.
What the fuck?
Well, I pick 80 shows I watch, and I could get them now.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
We can make an 80s movie like this. We do like a $1 bet that you can get Gertz and I can get Moira.
Oh,
right here.
Oh, well, hold on. All right, I think you can do it.
They find out about it, but we fell in love, and now we got to tell them, wait, it started as a bet, but now we really love you. You know, be that kind of movie.
And you have to win the breakdancing contest to like save the hall.
I have devastating news.
Yes.
Devastating news.
No.
Jamie Gertz is married to the owner of the Atlanta Hawks.
I think you still got a shot.
Hey,
you still got a shot.
Mayhem, I appreciate what you're doing right now, but knock it off. Let me live with my feelings for a second.
Okay.
Let me just digest this.
I bet Moira's married too.
And don't get me wrong, Mayhem. I like what you tried to do there, but it's not going to work.
It was nice. Yeah,
it was nice.
I thought that could be another plot twist.
I had to living in Sherman Oaks in the condo, going out for roles on sitcoms as people's mom or stepmom or that's the Jamie Gertz.
Yeah.
I was not married to the guy who owns the Atlanta Hawks.
That's rough.
That's not going to work.
In my mind, he's like an old fat racist, and you know what I mean? You're the quirky guy. Like, hey, I got a radio show.
I like where your head's at, but it's just not going to work.
Here's the 80s movie of that.
But about Moya, how about we can find out if Kyle can get Moya?
Here's the movie. You get her husband to cheat on her, and then you slip in, and then you start dating, and then she finds out. But then you do the whole but now I love you thing.
I appreciate what you guys are trying to do, but it's not going to work. I got to go back.
Let me tell you right now.
Go back to Charlene Tilton. Turns out Moya's husband owns the Denver Nuggets. So you're out, Kyle. Wow, what a bizarre happenstance.
I think I would have been out.
Two rando 80s actresses and married to moguls. This is brutal, Kyle.
If he was frying McNuggets, I'd still be out.
What happened to Moya? Is she okay?
Moira, isn't it?
Moira.
Moira?
I don't know. Okay.
Nobody
How
knows.
old is she? Has she put on? Has she put on weight?
No
and
way.
has Hollywood turned their back on her? Those are the three main things for you to get her. You know what I'm saying?
Gonna revive her career.
Yeah, no, she's just got to be knocked down a couple notches. That's all. She's 56. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hopefully he's put on a couple of LBs, and hopefully the acting roles have dried up. That's all. And that's where you swoop in. She's
married. I bet $1 million she's happily married, kids. Because she really disappeared. That's the one who gets married kids when they really disappear hard, which she did.
All right, Mayhem, you want to do a couple of news stories?
Yeah,
but we're here.
Let's get on to the news, all right? Well, first off, we talked about this at the top. LeBron and Bronny James, history is made. They shared the court in the Lakers season opener. I mean, you were there. They won the game.
They won the game.
Tell me about it. It was electric in there, I'm sure.
I didn't tell you guys about getting burned by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
What?
I forgot that story.
You got big leagued?
I got big timed, yeah. He gave me the high hat.
What?
Yeah. Every hat on him is high. But he gave me the high hat. I mean, really what just happened to me with, what's her name, marrying the guy who owns the Nuggets, at times two. Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta Hawks. Hawks, Falcons. Okay. Anyway, so I'm there. I go in. I get there. I bring my girlfriend and my daughter and her friend, and we go there and we get to go to the patio, which is the backstage drinks and food sushi place, right? And so we come walking in there, and going to get a drink and some food, and we're going to hang out for a few minutes before we go in and get our seats. It was Jeannie Buss and Jay Moore. I was married to Jeannie Buss. She got me these great seats, row 3, like right on the floor pretty much, right in the middle. Like, great, fine. Went back, saw Jeannie, said hi to her, sweetheart. Saw Jay, said hi to him. Saw Jay had his son there, said hi to them. Hung out. They said hi to us. We all sat there, ate. And then I noticed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar there. Now, Kareem was sitting in a wheelchair. He didn't look that bad, but he was in a wheelchair. And people were talking to him, but not too much. It was just kind of sitting there. And I was like, I had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on my radio show, and I also had him on this podcast. And I talked to him about his jazz book, I think. And we had a really nice, kind of intimate, long-form conversation. And at the end, all I have is memories. Like I have feelings. Like sometimes I'll go, yeah, I remember talking to that guy. I like that guy. And then there are other guys like, that guy's a douche. I don't like that guy. But when you interview 10,000 people, all you have is a feeling. You're more like like an animal that likes someone or doesn't like someone. I go, oh yeah, that guy was good. I like that guy. And then I was like, I don't like that guy. But it's just a feeling. So Kareem and I had a great dialogue. And like at the end, he was saying stuff like, well, that was one of the best interviews I've had, or thank you for that, man. I really enjoyed that talk. Or he said some positive stuff, you know. So now I see him over there, and I'm like, leave him alone, you know. So I leave him alone. And then later on, I'm walking out to our seats, and I see him sit in front row, like right on the aisle. And I'm walking past him now. And I'm like, should I stop and say hi? And I go, leave him alone. Leave him alone. So I leave him alone. Then, at like halftime, everyone goes back to the porch, and he's sitting in the patio, whatever it's called, and he's sitting there in that chair again. And this time, he's got people. Michael Cooper's coming by to take a pic. This lady over here's taking a pic. That lady over there's taking a pic. And I'm sitting there, and I go, we had a good conversation, and I should stop being this way. Like, why is my default setting, oh, he doesn't want to talk to you? Maybe he does want to talk to you. Maybe he remembers our dialogue, and we had a good conversation, whatever. So I should get over myself, you know. I should go over there and say hi to him. But there was a constant sort of group of people coming by wanting to say hi. So I had to kind of wait till it thinned out a little bit. But it wouldn't thin out to the point where nobody was saying hi. It was just, at some point, it was just him sitting there with a kind of a middle-aged woman just sitting next to him who didn't look like anybody you'd recognize or former anything. I don't know who she was, but she was just sitting there, and they were sort of having a dialogue. And I was like, this is about my only window here. So I walked around to the other side of his wheelchair, and I said, just excuse me, my name's Adam Carolla. I do radio show and a pod, and I've interviewed you a couple times, and I just wanted to say hi. And he didn't even look at me. He just goes, could you excuse us?
Oh.
And I went, oh.
Ace, you're taking it all wrong.
This is like me finding out that my best girl's married to the owner. 2 times in less than 24 hours, I've been crestfallen. I'm not having a good day. It's been a rough patch.
Oh, this happened last night.
This happened last night. He didn't look at me. He didn't go like, oh yeah, that was fun, but I'm talking to this.
You're taking L's.
He just went... He said, "Could you pardon us right now?" I said, "We got it okay right now." He said, "Could you pardon us?" And we're having a conversation. Like I didn't. He was. Now I then went to the bathroom, cried, wept openly in one of the stalls, and then came back. I came back like 10 minutes later. They were still having a conversation. So whoever this person, I took a little solace in that this was somebody he knew from the organization. I don't know what they were talking about, but I got the fucking...
This is a failure in strategy, though. This is a failure in strategy.
It's my fault.
You had to go early before a social battery was drained and before a woman was right in that. That's my take on
I'll tell you, and I did consider this. I did the Dodger Celebrity All-Star, Night of Stars baseball game with him one year. I did it like 5 times, but I did it with him one year. And it was like raining or something, so I had to go into the area, this lounge or something, and kill an hour before the game or whatever it was. And this woman came by, like a fan, and went, Mr. Abdul-Jabbar, I'm such a big fan. Could you sign this baseball? And he's like, no. and she's like, it really mean a lot, to my son. And he's like, no. And she's like, really? I got the pen right here in my hand. He's like, no. And then she leaves. And then 10 minutes later, clearly her son, the 8-year-old boy, she loaded him up and pushed him back. And he came by and he's like, Mr. Jabbar, could you do something? He's like, nope. And I'm sitting right next to him, and I'm fucking so uncomfortable all the time. She's like, really would mean a lot, right? No, son, no. I'm not going to do that. And I was like, I wanted to just stand up and scream, just sign the fucking ball. Like, this is killing me. And you could have signed a dozen balls by now. And just told him fucking no to his face 5 times. So I considered that as I walked over. I knew he had that gear, you know. He had the no gear in him. So I got what that kid got. Yeah.
I had that last night. I had an awkward social. I was at the Comedy Cellar. There was somebody there that was kind of like a history of I don't know what, some stuff. And you ever do that? It's like when you're nervous, you say something accidentally mean. Yeah. I said looking good, but the person was clearly not looking good. You ever said it to someone who's and then they just scowled at me and walked away. I mean,
because you lied to their face.
I told Vince Vaughn, who was my neighbor at the time, literally lived next at the building, lived in the house next to mine, that I had a neighbor when I lived in the Hollywood Hills that I hated so much that if his house caught on fire, I wouldn't save him. And I used to say that all the time. And one day at like 10:30 at night, someone rang my gate and they yelled, "Your neighbor's house is on fire. Call the fire department," and then hung up. And I stood there and I looked out the window and I saw his house on fire. And I stared at the phone. But I remember the commitment I made in front of God.
No!
And Vince Vaughn was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't call the fire department, Vince." And he's like, "I'm your neighbor. You like me, right?" I'm like, "I would definitely call the fire department, Vince, but this neighbor was such a douchebag." And he's like, "You didn't call the fire?" And I'm like, "Well, to be fair to me, I was like staring at my phone at some sort of weird crossroads because I swore I wouldn't call the fire department, but I didn't know there'd be a witness. Like someone would ring my buzzer and tell me to call the fire department." So I was telling Vince, I was like, I may have called. Like I was staring at my phone for a minute, but as I was staring at my phone, a fire truck pulled up. So I never had to make that call. So I didn't cross myself because I made an oath, you know, and he was like, "Seems like he should have called the fire department." I was like, "Vince, this guy was a real douche, like a super douchebag, not cool like you." Yeah. And then I never talked to him again. So I think maybe there was something there. So it would have been something.
There's more news.
Oh, there's more news.
There's more news.
One more story because G-Eazy is out there.
All right. Well, one more story if you're going to do it. Look, former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries all smiles with the ankle monitor as he posts a $10 million bond following his sex trafficking arrest.
Well, there's that guy. I don't trust guys who design clothes or sell clothes.
Yeah.
That guy, and then there's that other guy from like L.A., whatever, that had all those creepy billboards with like, I don't know, 14-year-old girls in underpants. But they're like
American Apparel.
That guy got into all kinds of trouble.
All kinds.
Too. Just, ladies, don't trust a dude who wants to make clothes for chicks.
Well, guys either, because this is all about dudes.
Oh, boy. I don't trust any of these guys.
He's an 80-year-old is accused of wielding power, wealth, and influence to traffic male models for his sexual pleasure. Yeah, it's pretty bad what they're accusing him of. It seems pretty bad. Even a guy young as 19 got caught up in this, and he got out on bail, $10 million bond, and strolled off grinning for the cameras with a ankle monitor on. Pretty rough life if he gets busted and goes away for it. But there's 15 John Does that are involved in this, and he led Abercrombie & Fitch for 22 years and left in 2014 with a $25 million exit
I feel
package.
Bad for the guitar player from the band X, whose name is John Doe. Because every time
how many times has he been
male prostitute gets raped, it's like he's a John Doe, and then he has to explain to his mom who's calling, who saw the headline. You know, it's not me, Mom. No,
oh, thank God.
They use that name generically.
I was worried sick.
Yes, no, Mom. I'm still in the band X. We're doing fine.
Are you missing?
No. The guy who's missing is they call him a John Doe. That's just my stage name, but I'm not that guy, and I wasn't the male prostitute that was raped violently in the park bathroom either.
Okay, right here. What I'm going to do is going to go take down your statement, John Doe. How many times were you molested, John Doe? Right here, right now.
Well, officer, my name is John Doe, and this guy was driving a Subaru, and it got too close to my guitar. So I want you to. I do like. It is a rich guy move, right?
Oh yeah.
Where you call the cop and you go, "Come down here. I don't like this guy's attitude. I want you to arrest him."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
is.
Like that's a weird. Poor people are always trying to avoid the cops, like all the time.
Yes.
And even if they get robbed, they're still like, I don't want the cops anywhere near here because there's other shit they could find and whatever. I got a warrant or whatever the fuck it is. When I was a poor person, it's like, just don't deal with cops. Doesn't matter.
Never.
You don't want a cop. You have a guy beating the shit out of you in the street. You don't want a cop to show up because somehow you're going to get into trouble too.
Exactly.
Rich guy just gets off his fucking Shimano and just calls the cops. Just come down and arrest this guy for me. Okay, right now?
He learned his lesson.
Okay, right now.
All right, Dunnigan, let me give you a plug. Oh, going to be at the Comedy Mothership. I was just out there a couple of weeks ago. What a setup over there.
I know. That's a great club.
That's coming up in December 6th through the 8th. More dates at KyleDunniganComedy.com, yes?
Or I have both of them. KyleDunnigan.com works now. So either one's good. But I'm doing a tour of the 10 cities right now.
People should tweet us as the most 80s movies ever. I mean, look, I'm not saying I'm infallible. I'm saying I got Quicksilver and I got Less Than Zero up there. If someone
Gremlins
is pretty.
That Stevie Cates. Oh, and that's Fast Times. Was that in the 80s?
Yeah, it's pretty 80s, but it's hard. Part of it kind of has to be a bad movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Breakfast Club. That was very.
But that was not bad enough.
It's not a bad movie. Ferris Bueller, not bad enough.
It needs to be bad.
Oh, Ferris Bueller. God, yeah.